Are you considering downsizing or finding your forever home? In today's video, I'll talk about how you may be able to use the home equity conversion mortgage to help you purchase that home. As always, check with your family and a licensed financial professional before you make this or any other major financial decision. Now sit back and get ready to learn the truth about reverse. And if this is your first time to the channel, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to tap that bell for notifications so you can keep learning right along with us. If you have questions about reverse mortgages, if you need some more information, if you have a family member or a relative or a friend who has a reverse mortgage and maybe you have some technical questions, I'm more than happy to help. My contact information is in the description right below. Feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Those over age 62 have amassed more than $13 trillion worth of home equity, but it largely sits idle during retirement. My name is Brian McRae, and I'm here to change that mindset. Reverse mortgages aren't for everyone, but in the right circumstance, a well-designed reverse mortgage can be an extraordinarily powerful financial tool to help you thrive in retirement. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how you can use a home equity conversion mortgage to help you purchase your home as you're going through the downsizing process. Many of my clients start with a preconceived notion that they do want to age in place. They do want to stay in their current home. That's kind of the default, but we may not be considering the practical aspects of what it means to age in place. And when I say practical, I mean, is the size of the home, is it too big? Or is it small enough to be able to be easy to take care of and perhaps less expensive? What about the lot elevation? Is the lot on a hill or is the lot flat? Are there lots of steps? The width of the hallways? There are all sorts of practical considerations, livability considerations for aging in place. Also, financial considerations. How you want your housing budget to reflect the rest of your retirement portfolio is a consideration as well. And so many of my clients come to me with the idea that they do want to age in place and stay in their current home. But after going through this kind of practical dialogue, we understand that they are not in the right house, that they do need to move. And yet after this analysis, we come to the conclusion that it's probably going to be better for us to use the home equity conversion mortgage to help them purchase their next home. And typically in the downsizing process, there is a lot of home equity repositioning, meaning you're cashing out on your big house and probably spending maybe a less amount on a smaller house in an attempt to be able to keep some of the cash or keep some of the equity that you've earned over all those years. And oftentimes, we may think we need to downsize. We may even understand that it's time, but there's a lot of inherent reluctance to doing so. It's a daunting task. It can be a daunting task physically in terms of boxing up all of our belongings and finding out where we're going to put them, but also sifting through our lives and closing down a very significant chapter of our lives in doing so. So there's an emotional load associated with that too. So there's a lot of inertia, a lot of people that are kind of stuck in this phase of knowing that they need to go, but not quite understanding the how and the when, and not quite being internally motivated enough to actually make that first step. So our ability to have those conversations, to be able to ask the practical questions, illuminate some of the issues, they can help unlock that pent-up demand and also help us get a better idea of what that forever home needs to look like. So when it is time to cash out of that big house, that's a step in our retirement where we're going to consolidate our equity. You have an opportunity here to cash out on all that equity that you've stored up over the years. You may be considering taking the big house and taking the proceeds and buying a much smaller house so that you can save some of that in actual liquid cash format. The default in that situation tends to be, well, I'll sell my existing house and I'll just write a check for the next house. It's a smaller amount. But what are we doing if we do that? We're basically creating the same problem. We're stuffing that money kind of back in the mattress and making it illiquid again. And so this is the purpose of the home equity conversion mortgage as a purchase vehicle, is it allows us to set aside a percentage of the home's value, the same percentage that it would be if we were refinancing the home. Could be between 30 to 50% of that home's purchase price, depending on age and interest rates. And have that be financed through the home equity conversion mortgage and have the homeowner pay the rest in the form of a down payment in cash. So what we're doing is we are creating a mortgage that does not have a monthly principal and interest payment requirement to it. So because there's no monthly cash flow hit, that mortgage is healthy from a day-to-day, month-to-month retirement perspective. It's almost as if they had purchased the house for cash anyway, but they really didn't. They financed a significant portion with that reverse mortgage, and they were able to keep the cash they earned from the sale of their previous house in their pocket. So here's a practical example. Say we sell our house and we net about $500,000, and the house that we want to move into is about $400,000. We could write that $400,000 check and walk away with our $100,000. Or we could finance, say, $150,000 of that through the reverse mortgage, and we could pay the other $250,000, which means we're now walking away with $250,000 and having the rest of the home financed within the context of that home equity conversion mortgage. And as before, this does represent a very unique opportunity to make a human connection and start to ask some real questions and help our clients live out their best retirement by helping them find the place that they want to stay. This also allows us to be proactive, and we can put that housing in place before we need to, before we have some sort of long-term care event or a medical event that requires us to downsize under pressure. Better to do this proactively as part of a long-term financial plan, so we're not trying to react to that in a very stressful moment. And if you are ready to consider that process, the downsizing process from a real estate perspective is also very specialized. There is a designation called Senior Real Estate Specialist, or SERS. These are realtors who are specially trained in working with seniors and understanding the specific types of problems that they face. There are also downsizing consultants that will actually help you determine which items to pack up, and in some cases even pack those items up for you. So there are ways to make this process a lot easier and a lot more straightforward. So finding that forever home can be a daunting task. It might be something we know that we need to do, but we might be reluctant to actually get started doing it. Having the practical conversations about what it would look like to age in place from a financial perspective and also from a physical perspective can help dislodge that pent-up demand. And as we've seen, the home equity conversion mortgage can be used at that moment to help purchase that forever home. But how much can you actually borrow? In my next video, I'm going to walk you through the basic math that determines exactly what percentage of the home's market value we will lend. Until next time, keep on learning the truth about reverse mortgages.